our longest trusted English newspaper since 1898. Now available digitally. Computer. Order the Manila Times Digital Edition. Subscribed. Get the Manila Times Digital Edition for less than 2 pesos and 50 centavos per day when you sign up for 1 year. The Manila Times, news source of choice, trusted since 1898.
Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Friday, April 22, 2022. Hundreds of commuters were left without rides amid the confusion over the window hour bus scheme being implemented by the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority. In a statement on Thursday, MMDA Chairman Romando Don Artes tried to sort out the mess, saying all provincial buses must end their trips either at the North Luzon Express Terminal in Bocaue, Bulacan, or the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange in Parañaque City. Artes said it was the MMDA who requested the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board to limit the entry of provincial buses into Metro Manila to avoid congestion. He said provincial bus operators appealed to the MMDA to allow their units to ply EDSA during the so-called window period from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., a scheme that is being tried out for 2 weeks, starting the last week of March. A new online quiz helps sharpen the ability of Filipinos to differentiate between fake and real news. The What the Fake, ang Fake News Challenge ng Bayan, is the brainchild of the Ateneo School of Government through the Boses Opinyon, Siyasat at Siyensya para sa Pilipinas or Boses Pilipinas. The quiz, which was launched in November of 2021, may be accessed through inclusivedemocracy.ph/fake news challenge. The test taker is asked to identify if the quotes or infographics of public officials are real or not. Those who have taken the test are encouraged to share it with others to help fight disinformation and misinformation online. The chairman of the country's vaccine expert panel believes approval for a second booster shot for healthy individuals will be a long time coming. The Food and Drug Administration has approved the administration of a second booster dose for high-risk groups, such as healthcare workers, senior citizens, and persons with immune conditions last week, and is up for approval with the Independent Health Technology Assessment Council. Speaking at a briefing on Wednesday, VEP Chairman Dr. Nina Gloriani said a second booster dose for the generally healthy population needs more study. Gloriani also said that while the panel is included in its recommendations a second booster shot for persons with chronic medical conditions, such as those with hypertension, diabetes, and related comorbidities, it is still unclear if they will be included in the final guidelines to be issued by the National Vaccination Operations Center. The guidelines for the booster will be implemented as soon as the HTAC approves the emergency use authorization issued by the FDA. A national transport organization on Thursday announced its support for what it called Marso, combining the names of presidential hopeful Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and vice presidential candidate Senate President Vicente Tito Sotto III. Led by Mario Bautista Jr., national chairman of the Philippine Transport Monitor or PhilTram, the group, made up of food delivery riders, tricycle and jeepney drivers, said they will aggressively campaign for Marso as they believe that these two candidates will be the best among the other aspirants that will gear the country toward real progress and peace. Bautista said the platforms of the two fit perfectly into their group's advocacy for a better life for low-income earners like food delivery drivers, as well as jeepney, tricycle, and hailing service drivers. The Philippines continues to have the highest number of Catholic baptisms compared to other places in the world, according to data released in the 2020 Annuarium Statisticum Ecclesiae, or the Statistical Yearbook of the Church. According to the Church's Statistical Yearbook, the Philippines had 1.6 million newly baptized Catholics in 2020, followed by Mexico with 1.53 million and Brazil with 1.12 million. The Philippines also topped the list in 2019. The yearbook also gives detailed figures on the church's workforce, sacramental life, dioceses, and parishes. Over to business, economic growth should top 6% over the next 5 years for the Philippines to pay off pandemic-related debt, Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III said on Thursday. He went on to say that the next administration, which will take office on June 30, would have to establish requisite policies and adhere to fight budgetary discipline. In sports, the Wrestling Association of the Philippines will send 13 athletes to the 2022 Southeast Asian Games scheduled in Vietnam from May 12 to 23. The national team will be spearheaded by Jason Baucas and Noel Norada, who respectively ruled the men's Greco-Roman 72kg and 63kg categories during the 2019 SEA Games held in the country. The Philippines also pocketed 10 silvers and a bronze to finish second overall behind Vietnam, which collected 12 gold and 2 silver in 2019. Rigoberto Tiglao and Ruben Torres are today's front page columnists. Tiglao projects a 60 to 70% victory of presidential candidate Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. in the upcoming elections, while Torres discusses the wages of war in Ukraine and who profits from it. Today's editorial calls on the Commission on Elections and Smartmatic to part ways. Read a full version on the Paper's Opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and keep up with the Times. On behalf of the Manila Times, this is Arik John Seco reporting. Have a safe Earth Day Friday.